Carla Lauder. I'm with GeoWeek News, and today we're talking with Tomaz Izak, who is with 3Dsurvey, and he's going to tell us all about what they're up to, what their new features are, and kind of how people are using this tool that we're calling from surveyors for surveyors. So I'm going to let Tomaz introduce himself, and then we'll get started talking a little bit more about 3Dsurvey.
Thank you, Carla. Hello, everyone. So I'm CEO or one of the co-founders of the company. I graduated on University of Land Surveying in Ljubljana, and after that I got employed in Land Surveying company. And after 4 years, I started with my own business. So I'm married. I have kids, two kids, twins. They're boys and girls, and now they are 15. I have a few hobbies. I run, I like mountain biking, also downhill, and I sail a lot with a sailing boat, and I really like to travel. So actually I'm a land surveyor, and I was measuring all kinds of real estate. Therefore, I'm aware that this service is really beautiful job and also very hard. So guys are working in all weather conditions, day or night, dust, sometimes more 12 hours per day. And my personal mission is to help surveyors to make their job easier. So we help to digitalize terrain and collect valuable geospatial data.
And so for those who aren't yet familiar with your solution, can you kind of describe, what types of data you're taking in? What is 3Dsurvey capable of processing? How are you making that easier?
Yes, so 3Dsurvey is a photogrammetry software which from 2D images creates 3D models, and because it is developed from surveyor for surveyors, it has a lot of interesting features integrated as volume calculation, profile line calculation or cross sections, CAD drawings, engine, and a lot of more. So there is a lot. There is also an options to import LiDAR scan data, traditional surveying or solar data, and everything combined with photogrammetry results. So user can work with single software, no need to export the data to a third party.
And speaking kind of exporting or using that data, what kind of outputs is 3Dsurvey providing? Are you getting DSMs? You mentioned volume calculations.
Yes, of course. All the features works with photogrammetry data, also work with scan data. Okay, and the outputs are orthophoto, textured 3D model, point cloud, regular and irregular grid mesh, CAD drawings, some specific selected points, quick sketches, volume reports, camera parameters, and etc. Yes, a lot of.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot. And it sounds like, those might be useful to different groups of people. Who makes up kind of your primary user base? What roles or industries are they found in?
Okay, so our primary community are land surveyors, and since they need a wide variety of features and also the most complex one. We are also able to serve users from construction industry, engineers, miners, and infrastructure planners, because our solution offers everything they need and even more.
And for those who are working with both terrestrial and aerial data, can 3Dsurvey be used to work with both of those?
Yes, from the 3Dsurvey perspective, we do not really differentiate from data sources. Due to our state-of-the-art algorithms, we can read all sorts of inputs. Once we have data collected, we just orientated it and in order to get the proper measurements and orientation. From this point forward, it only matters on what the goal is.
And what are some of the kind of recent features that you're particularly excited to share? What's new
There's a lot to say, but let's start. So volume calculations is one of the most used features. Users are able to run 2 or more point clouds at the same time. They can compare more different situations side by side. With this feature, user decrease the time needed to calculate project almost by half. Second would be CAD functionalities. Users are making land surveying maps and they're eager to extract just specific information of terrain, and this feature is very flexible for user. Most probably one of the features would be easy to use. So we are all surveyors by heart and still working on some extremely complex projects. This allows us to really understand the everyday user and their needs. So the workflow in our software is extremely intuitive. In each stage, user easily understands what to do. Okay, next feature would be one-click automatic classification. This algorithm helps users to extract just the terrain. So with one click, it recognizes objects and vegetation, which can be removed from the point cloud. Okay, there is also a feature for profile lines, which is used by surveyors and also civil engineers. And I have to mention our onboarding process. After initial purchase, we execute training that allows clients to start immediately. This is our goal. So, of course, we also have extremely detailed tutorials recorded so users can access our knowledge base anytime they want. And one of the recent features would be X-ray. This is unique feature on this market. So when surveying with drone, building corners are usually hidden by the rooftops. That means that surveyors need to measure corners of the buildings by hand with traditional tools, which takes time and effort to do. So X-ray, with its specific algorithms, allows users to measure building corners without physically measuring them. Okay, and we still believe that we should offer to our clients complete solution. That is why our solution is made on all-in-one approach, meaning that once user buys our 3Dsurvey software, they get everything they need to complete projects in one single application. So there is no need to buy additional expensive models or study for hours. It's really simple.
And that kind of ties into my next question was your motto is by surveyors for surveyors. Can you kind of explain a little bit more about that philosophy and maybe the history that led up to that?
Yes, so our history is quite long. So in 2011, Marco, Vit, and me, so co-founders, came up with the idea of micro photogrammetry with drones. So in those days in Slovenia, government was mapping whole country every 4 years. And we were asking ourselves, okay, why map the whole country just because of a small part is constantly changing, especially in urban areas. So we decided to go for local photogrammetry, and we started to developing 3Dsurvey. In the start, we were doing service for a few years for land surveyors, land surveying companies, and we made over 1,000 projects. In 2015, we started to sell 3Dsurvey software, and today we have more than 45 resellers worldwide. So we are a pretty small team. I like my associates. These are marketeers, sales guys, and developers. And after 10 years, we are really like a family.
My next question is, do you have any examples of, some of the clients you work with? Are there any unique use cases that you've helped to solve with this technology?
Yes, I would like to share one of specific projects from German partner. where they monitored the demolition of the power plant. They mapped the terrain once per month and observe if the dismantling was by plan. With the help of X-ray function, I was talking about it before, they were able to extract building corners and footprint much easier and safer than traditional way. They also delivered monthly reports to their contractor and about the progress of the project. We see different stages of the project, and each stage was documented with the volume calculation of extracted material. This is one of the projects where this technology was a real power tool, and feel free to check out our webpage where you will find several interesting showcases, really.
Very cool. And speaking of that, what would you want, potential users to know about 3D Survey if they've never used it before, if they haven't come across your use cases previously?
Okay, so in case of buying 3D Survey, 2 hours of onboarding are included in the price of software. This allows everybody to start using software immediately. This is our mission goal, and we are doing that really successfully. So we offer best-in-class technical support and all-in-one software package that allows users to complete the project without the fear of having to buy another license or module of some other software. Also, user workflow is really natural and extremely simple. Software offers extreme precision, is stable and reliable system, and of course support 14 languages.
And if someone is interested in getting started using the software, what's the first step? What should they do first?
So it's really simple as our software. So you can check out our webpage, Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. We are present everywhere. You can download trial version to get familiar with it, or you can just order it immediately. Once you order the software, you just let us know when you are available for the call so we can assist you with onboarding. This is very important. And every user also has their own dashboard where they will find tutorials, they can manage their licenses, and also download application, app updates, and webinars. At least twice per month, we provide our clients with knowledge refresh, use cases, our webinars, so everybody can be informed about possibilities, new technologies, and new ways of working. Throughout the complete life cycle, we make sure that all the users are well informed about capabilities of the product, new features, user instructions, and the latest use cases.
Well, thank you so much for your time and for sharing this. I really think that our audience, especially in the survey community, will be interested to know that there's such an intuitive tool with such great support out there that they can just try right now. So thank you so much, Tomaz, and we will look forward to covering more on what's going on with 3D Survey in the future.
Thank you, Carla.